Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, Round 7. And if you want to check out Instagram, it's hashtag 30DSCBL7. And this is a sketch that we're all doing today, and it has two photos in it, but I'm only going to have one. So that's one thing that's going to be different. But you will be able to tell at the end that I use the same inspiration sketch as everybody else. There's not going to be that much difference in it. I thought I'd use these grays, and I've got that gray cardstock for the background. It's not going to last long at all. The papers that I'm using are from Ellie's Studio, and it's a Sycamore Lane. And this blue one, I lay it on there. I cut my banner first. And I lay it on there. I didn't like it. So, yeah, it's going to go. But the paper's going to stay. The blue paper is. And it says things like happiness, grateful, treasured, good times, remember, love, together. Really nice stuff for this layout. I am going to use both of those 6x6 squares. And I thought I might use that arrow one that I cut off, the gray branding strip. But I'm going to go ahead and stitch instead. Yeah, it has stitching on the layout. I am not going to do the same stitches though. I'm going to do the X's, instead because they can take up more space with less stitching. I layered my photo with the gray one that had the little tiny triangles on there, and then I layered it in black also. And before I did this layout, like night or so before, I cut out a bunch of die cuts and they were black and gray, and I thought I could use them on my layout. So I am going to use some of them. I didn't quite make up my mind at first which I was going to use, so you will see a couple of things on here before I do make my mind up. But yeah, I'm going to make those X's all the way down, and that's a Amy Tan template, and I'm just going to use some black thread for that. That one paper that I slipped behind the banner, it has feathers on it. I thought at first it was like hash marks, that it wasn't really anything. But then I actually looked at it and it was feathers. So they're not the fancy of as feathers that they could be. They're kind of plain Jane, but you can still tell they're feathers. And I just like the look of it. It wasn't just plain, well, it's almost an off-white. So with the feathers on there, it just gave it some more character. I started to use the together for my title. I thought about that. But I've got a little teeny tiny word together. I'm going to end up using it and use this Love This dies. And those were, I think it was a Maggie Holmes die set from quite a few years ago. And I'm layering with the gray on the bottom, so it'll be kind of like a shadow, and then the black on the top. Now, if you look up there at the sketch, you'll see two circles, a doily and then a round one with a heart. And I thought about putting something up there, but I ended up changing my mind. I will put a circle at the bottom of the photo. It's going to be that gear looking piece. And then I'm going to add a few more gears on the page too. So I am going to have circles on here. I'm just not going to have two right there together up at the top. I've got that vintage looking slide, and I did layer it with the gray and the black also, but I put a square of the blue paper behind it, and I'm thinking that slide die came from Maggie Holmes also. I'm thinking it might have came from the same collection or a Sizzix one. I can't remember which one it came in. I should keep them together, I know, but I do it where it's easier for me and the way my brain thinks, like, frames all go together, hearts all go together, phrases all go together. Y'all get the picture. It works better for me. I did stop and cut out some more from the dies and do the red. I had pulled that little, that heart you see over there on the left. And I think it says something about cozy together or something on it too. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I liked the red on the layout when I laid it on there to test it. And I thought, I think I'm going to add red. I was trying to decide to add another color, but yeah, it took me a little bit. I had to actually start putting things on the page before I decided it. But yeah, I like the pops of red with the black. I'm going to put this geometric shape die kind of hanging on and off of the banner, plus behind my photo. And then I'm going to do some layering with it too. So it's not going to show up super good. I mean, you can still see it and everything, but it's going to have quite a few things on top of it. And I love this wheel die, year die. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think I got it with a game set of dies some way with an arrow. I think that's what it came in at one time, but it's over there in my gears instead, so I can use it same time I use gears because I don't hardly ever do a layout with games on it. And while I'm busy layering things, I'm going to mention that down there below there'll be a bunch of links. I mean, a lot of different ones that are doing the Christie's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches Round 7. Quite a few of them did them last time, and quite a few of them did all 30 days. And there's quite a few this time that plan on doing 30 days. I did it last time, and my plan is to do it this time too, but we'll see. I was ahead, and I'm still a little ahead, but yeah, you never know what's going to happen before the end of the month. So I'm not going to say for sure. Not after the day I had today, anyway. But my goal is to get at least one voiceover a day. Uh, my picture, I'll tell you about it too while I'm putting all this stuff on the page. That's my son and Hope, and she's like 4 now. And this was when she was like 6 months old. And I thought it was so funny, she had a pacifier in her mouth. So, of course, kind of hard for her to smile, but you can smile with a pacifier in your mouth. I've seen lots of kids do it. But I was trying to get them both to smile, and finally it hit me. They both had the same expression on their face. So I went ahead and took the picture. And so that's why my subtitle, if you look on the original sketch, there's a little teeny tiny little label or something, and it says subtitle on it. Well, mine's bigger. And it's going to say cozy together, same expression. But, I think that's like a family expression when they get to a point where they don't want me to take no more pictures. But, however, on this day, this was the only picture I took. I had laid out my notebook punch. I'm just going to call it that. No, don't matter what they call it online. The makers of it call it. I'm just going to call it notebook punch. But anyway, I had laid it out to help remind myself that I wanted to use it on here. So I cut a strip and just put it below the picture, just to add a little something down there. There really wasn't nothing that I'm duplicating in the original. I was just wanting to add something. And I had found a grid piece of paper that was gray instead of black or another color. So I did use my punch, my label punch, and I punched out one ticket label. Well, it's label. It's called label punch. I punched out one. They look like tickets to me. But I punched one out and I cut it, well, not quite in half, but I cut it. And I put one piece over with the little cluster on the right, and then the other one underneath the heart by Hope. And I used my tiny attacher on both of them. So I'd have a little staple on there. And these, I just cannot remember offhand what these gray letters are from that I did the same expression with. I know I have them in a few colors, but offhand I can't think of what it is. But I thought, man, I can use them on this layout and it'll work pretty good. I did consider red too, but I didn't have any of that small in red unless I went to tiles or used my old, I think they're jelly bean soup ones. But I was wanting some that stuck, and these do. I know it's unrealistic of me to want alphas that stick because, it is hard to find some that do sometimes. But I knew that these did. And I think I'm about done with my layout. Yeah, I am. That's it. That's my layout. Um, I want to thank Christy again for inviting all of us to join because it helps us get layouts done. And she picks out the greatest sketches too. But uh, if you leave a comment down there below, I'll get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But yeah, there's hope. And yeah, neither one's smiling. And see the feathers on there? You can barely tell they're feathers. You got to really look at it. I mean, you can't just glance. You got to look at it to see that there are feathers on there. And like I said, that's the Maggie Holmes. Love this. And my cross stitch. And that's about it. But I hope y'all have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.